Hey there, how y'all doing? I want to do a quick video right now on a knife that I just picked up within the last week. And as you can see by the header, it's going to be a Ka-Bar Dozier. And that's what I got. And about a year ago, if somebody had told me that I would be doing a video on a Ka-Bar Dozier knife, I'd have left them right out of town. I've seen them around, watched a lot of videos on them, never did think too much about it. Well, I was in my local gun shop the other day getting some ammo and stuff, and they had these things in a showcase on sale. They sell some Spydercos and some cold steel, and I'm always looking for a knife. I don't want to say a beater knife, but a knife I can use if I want to pry something open, if I cut something where I really don't want to cut or scratch one of my good blades, I'll buy a knife and I carry that with me. Well, they had these things in the case, so I picked it up and I was looking at it, and this is the, they call it floral green with a black blade on it. So I picked it up and I was opening it, just piddling around with it. And it was only 20 bucks. So I got it and I came home and got to playing with it, and it was stiff. Man, it was tight as a drum. When I opened this thing the first 2 or 3 times, I thought I was going to have a come along with a downhill dragger. Man, that thing would, you just had to use 2 hands on it to get it open. So what I did was, I got a lot of knives and I always have to tweak them or fine tune it, I call them. So what I did, I took this knife, and I've got one of these. Of course, everybody, I guess, has got one of these or something similar to it. It's the Cobalt torx bit. This size 3 through 10, I believe. And you use it, and what I did was, the pivot screw right here, I just backed that thing off just about once. It wasn't even an eighth of an inch. A lot of videos tell you to do it a quarter of a turn at a time. Well, I didn't even do it that much. I just backed it off. It wasn't much more over 1/16 of an inch, and it came open. It started opening a little better. So what I did, I got this. This is some synthetic oil. Any kind of oil would do. And I just put one drop, mind you, just put one drop right there. And just started working it back and forth, back and forth. I did that for about, 10 or 15 minutes. And when I went to bed that night, here's a little trick I learned a long time ago. Just open the blade partially. And if you can see on this lock back, if I can get it in camera, you see that thing? You see it coming up right there? If you'll open this knife up to where it's exposed, it takes that pressure off of that back lock. And I just found a safe, flat surface where I knew nobody would touch, and I let that thing just sit overnight. Well, I got up the next morning, I picked this thing up, and buddy, let me show you something. That is a manual folder. There's no spring. This is just a regular manual folder, and I'm going, man, I didn't get, right, my thumb slipped off of it. This thing comes open just as good as any of the knives that I've got that are made to come open that fast. And I tell you what, I have just really been enthused with this little thing, and it only weighs it's either 2.2 or 2.3 ounces, and that is nothing at all. But you know what? It reminds me, it's sort of like a Glock. It's beautiful in its ugliness. And this is just an old plain Jane $20 knife. I mean, but for 20 bucks, you are getting a knife that, man, this, as a matter of fact, I've been EDCing this for the last 3 or 4 days. I don't classify this as a beater knife anymore. This is one fine knife. And I just, that just tickled to death, because I've been sitting here playing with this thing all day long. I can't help myself when I come to knives. And it opens up almost, well, not quite as good as this Spyderco, because this has got the bush and pivot system. But I'm telling you what, for a little $20 knife, I mean, you can't beat that for a $20 knife. Like I said, if somebody told me a year ago that I'd be doing a video on this, I'd have left them right out of town. But I just wanted to pass that along to you. And if you've got knives or lockback knives that are new, or any kind of knife that, like I said, just adjust the pivot screw a little bit. And I didn't back off that thing, not much at all, just barely. And just one drop of oil, let it sit in an open position like that all night long. Got it, there she goes. Well, that's my video. I just wanted a $20 knife, man. You cannot beat this for a, it's got the Bob Dozier design. He makes a lot of knives, and it's got the little Ka-Bar on the blade. Ka-Bar, man, they make knives for the Army, Marine Corps, military knives. Good knife. Well, for 20 bucks, you can't beat it. That's my video, so thank you much now.